Bibliophiles of the internet, my name is Audrey, and today I'm here to finally do the BookTube Oldie Tag. This was created by Monica from Monica Kim, creator of the Readathon, and I was tagged, I believe, by one of my oldest BookTube friends, Lindsay from Lindsay's Lovely Library. Both of their videos and the questions will be included down below, so definitely check those out. Before we get into it, I did want to remind you that just because your feed is going back to normal, or just because there's less media coverage of the Black Lives Matter movement and other anti-racist movements, doesn't mean we're in the clear. We're still very much in this. There's still so much happening out there and still so much that needs to be done, and you have to understand that what is normal is unacceptable for so many people in so many communities, and we cannot give ourselves the option of going back. With that said, there will be some resources linked down below for you to help or to educate yourself, some carried over from past videos and some new, so definitely take some time to look at those. And with that, we can finally move into question number 1, which is how long have you been on BookTube? As a viewer, I've been here since 2012. As a content creator, I've been here since 2013. So 7 to 8 years depending on your definition of joining the community, but either way, ya boy is old as fuck. The first booktuber I ever saw was Priscilla from The Readables, who most of you don't even know, which is extremely unfortunate for you because she was great. So I was always inspired by POC creators from the very start. What was your biggest misconception before starting BookTube? If I can be real, my biggest misconception was that I would grow at the same rate as everyone else. We still cling to this idea that if you put in the work, if you put in the time, it will pay off, which I think generally speaking it has, but I have grown at a snail's pace compared to many of my peers who have started at the same time as me, or even people who started later than I did. And that's fine. I do not begrudge anyone their growth for any reason, but I did learn quickly that I would have to contend with a lot of different biases stacked against me, and that's just the way it is. How do you think BookTube has changed since you first started? The volume of creators has exploded, which is great. It means every niche and every interest is being addressed, which is awesome. So if you're looking for a certain thing, there's most likely a channel out there catering to that and creating that content. The amount of diversity has also grown because of that, and that's not something to pat ourselves on the back about. It's merely a statistical consequence of having more creators. My friend Brody from A2 Brody made a great video about the difference between diversity and inclusion, which you should definitely watch. But to paraphrase what they said there, diversity is basically the presence of having different people from different backgrounds and different experiences. We have booktubers of all ages, ethnicities, nationalities, abilities, sexualities, genders, so on and so forth, but that doesn't mean we're serving marginalized creators as well as we should be, and that's what's unfortunate. That's all I'm gonna say for now, but you should definitely watch Brody's video if that is a topic of interest. So yeah, basically we have more people on BookTube doing more things, which generally speaking in a very broad sense is a kind of progress. What is your favorite BookTube memory? I have two because I love to cheat. The first, hands down, was going to BookNet Fest last year. I felt so connected to BookTube in a way I never had been before. I got to temporarily live with and socialize with some really amazing people, and everyone there was so kind and so generous. It was only a few days, but it was a wonderful few days, and I got to meet some of my best BookTube friends for the first time, like Brody, Jesse, Kav, R, Alicia, the NB squad, the Latinx squad, and Jerry of Onyx Pages. I got to speak on panels and do collabs and go book shopping with friends. It was just the best. And may I just point out that the 2 books I bought in Florida, Darius the Great Is Not Okay and An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, turned out to be 2 of my favorite books. So that was definitely fortuitous. My second favorite BookTube memory is more recent. It's the work I've gotten to do with Quarantine Pages, an online silent reading group and Jerry created to help bring readers together as we go through this pandemic. It has really turned into something so much bigger than any of us, and it is such a joy to share space with so many wonderful readers every day, to have a set time where all we do is read books and then laugh together afterwards, and it has been so great. And I've gotten to work with some of my favorite authors like Kristen Lambert, Aiden Thomas, Alicia Dow, Mason Deaver, with hopefully more to come, and I am extremely proud of those discussions, which I never could have had without Quarantine Pages. I will leave some some links down below in case you're interested in quarantine pages, but whether you are a regular or a first timer, everyone is welcome and you should definitely come read with us. What are some books you were introduced to because of BookTube? The two I mentioned, Darius the Great is Not Okay and An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, were definitely highly recommended on BookTube. I definitely heard about Silvia Moreno Garcia because of Marinez. BookTube also most likely turned me onto The Fifth Season, Wild Beauty, Peter Darling, just so many things. I will say I often find a lot of my books outside of BookTube, but it definitely has had its influence. What is something that frustrates you about BookTube? Here's the soapbox, I'm about to get on it. Well, besides the deeply ingrained racism, ableism, homophobia, transphobia, etc., there are two things. Firstly, the fact that even now, so few people bother to caption their videos. I've seen a small uptick in people correcting the auto captions at least, but even that is not great because the capitalization, punctuation, and emphasis is hardly ever correct. And if your captions are not clear, they are useless. I've said it before and I will say it again. BookTube will never be as inclusive as we claim it to be if we do not care about access to our content. Captions do not only benefit deaf and hard of hearing folks, but people with learning and processing disabilities, people with attention disorders, autistic folks, multilingual folks. So many more people than you think benefit from captions. Even if you only caption in one language, it makes such a difference. The second thing that bugs me is when people don't include things they mention in their video in their descriptions. The drop-off rate is ridiculous. I have lost count of how many times someone has mentioned something cool or useful in their video and said out loud with their human mouth, I will include a link to that down below. And then you click down below and there's nothing down there but their usual self-promo shit. This, again, I feel is an issue of access. If you were serious about letting people into your content and letting them connect with what you're talking about, you would take 2 seconds to drop a link. And full offense, but if you captioned your videos and heard back what you said in the video, you might remember to update your description with those links. Just a fun fact. I've also said this before, but if you have time to prep, get dressed, film, edit, upload, and everything else that comes with that, you have time to caption. You have time to look up some links. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And finally, what is your hope for the future of BookTube? I hope other marginalized creators continue to make their way and start their own channels. Is it hard? Yes. Is everything set up against you? Yes. Will you have to face things your average creator will never have to face? Yes. My hope is that they see the community for what it is and join anyway. Your voice is needed, your voice is valued, your voice is necessary, and I hope you will share it with us. I hope you will see that even though this community is deeply imperfect, if you can find your people and be unapologetically authentic, it can be a beautiful, productive space. And I hope BookTube will begin to work against its biases and its bullshit to give these creators the chances and support they deserve, because it is high time we honored the people who are putting in the work. So those are all the questions for the BookTube Oldie Tag. I wear my years with pride and I love what I do here at Perpetual Pages. I will find some folks to tag down below, but if you've been on this platform for a minute, you're more than welcome to do this and say that I tagged you. But that's everything I had for today. So until next time, educate yourself, be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page.